Good afternoon, sir. My name is Muriel Kevin M. Lumapak, and I am a second-year college student at Davao Central College. I am conducting this interview as a part of my course assessment in learning. Can I ask a few questions to you, sir?
Yes, of course.
Okay. Uh, this is the number one question. Can you briefly introduce yourself and the subject you teach?
Once again, good afternoon, Sir Muriel. I'm Edgar Gerard Estimadap. I'm teaching here in Magtulog National High School. This is my 6th year. I'm going to
Mm.
7 years this next year, February 2026.
Okay, sir. Um, my second question is, what assessment methods do you commonly use in your classes?
There are many types of assessment, no? First is formative, then we also have the summative assessment.
Okay. Okay. How do you decide which assessment tools fits a topic?
It depends on the situation and the topic that you are referring. When we say formative assessment, it may be 5 to 10 item tests. Then it's
Mhm.
up to a teacher because it's just testifying or you are doing pre-evaluation or pre-test. So it depends on you if you will, basically, in some of the teachers, they are not recording if majority of the learners did not pass. But specifically, it will help you to really track the learner's progress. When in terms of the summative assessment, it's your basis on how will you measure the learning of the students through the topics that you've discussed to them.
Okay, sir. Another question. Why do you choose these types of assessments?
Professionally, that is the practice not only in the DepEd Davao now, but also in the Department of DepEd in the nationwide basis. Then, sometimes I'm doing differentiated instruction in which so that you can make some unique adjustments because not all learners are capable of answering the assessments. So, differentiated instruction really helped me to really classify those learners according to their level and so that I can have variety of activities.
Okay, sir. How do these assessment benefits you as a teacher?
Uh, it, it really benefits me, no? Not only as a teacher but also as a individual because when you assess a learner, it's not about the paper and pen test, no? But you are also assessing them in accordance to their behavior. Because one of the true measurements that the learner really learn from you is not only that he or she passed, but also in the behavior that he or she enhance. Because character, maybe you can learn it from home, no? But also in the school molds it in terms of the character development. Specifically, the GMRC, the values education, or edukasyon sa pagpapakatao subject. So, that's it, no? It doesn't mold me only as a teacher, but also as an individual.
Okay, sir. How do these assessment benefits to your students?
To my students, it will really help them because they can monitor their progress also, not only in learning, but on how far they've learned. Not only statistically, no, but also in a qualitative description. Because if you are just focusing on the stats itself or the quantitative side, majority of the learners, because now we all know that the learners with in a classroom, the dominant description will be the failing learners. If you will compare it to the competitive or passing learners.
Okay. How this how do these assessment benefits to the teaching learning process?
To the teaching learning process, it will really help you. First in teaching, you can gather data, especially you can analyze it, especially if you are doing it in the right way and religious way. For me, example for me, I'm doing it religiously. So I can reflect with myself based on my lesson plan or lesson exemplar. What is the status, the learning status? What are the learner needs that must be catered in the upcoming or future days to this student? Because you are not only focusing on one student. You are focusing 40 to 50 students. If you will base it in our population here, the proportion or ratio of our students, then I'm handling 4 sections, 2 grade 7, 2 grade 10. Then in grade 10, I have 2 subjects for them, which are Aralpan and ESP, while in the grade 7, Aralpan. It really scan to them if you will really follow the pattern or you have an practice that in terms of the tracking of the learner's progress.
Okay, sir. What challenges do you face when implementing assessments?
Academically, some of the challenges, for example, where the programs, because if we have events, especially that is a national based memorandum, no, that the teachers in the public school should follow, because some of the time we're consumed in conducting it, but our school are really doing the best so that there will be no disruption of classes. But it depends on the program that will be implemented academically and non-academically. Then also the events, sometimes also the teachers are going outside. For me, I'm going outside. I have personal matters or school matters that it needs to be addressed outside the school. That's it, sir.
Okay, sir. How do you address these challenges?
First, I'm asking permission from my immediate supervisor, which are the principal, my principal, then our master teacher, and some of the heads of vocal persons. So that's it. That is a first part, no. You ask permission. Then when you ask permission, you do your thing, which is you will have your substitution plan, in which if you will be absent on that day because you have sick or some personal concerns or you have some meetings outside, seminars or workshops, that's the substitution plan will go in. So it will really help you to identify who will be the teachers who will substitute. Even though they are not having the specialization or major of specialization on that, that's okay because that is part of the work. Then, iwas stress, sleep well, you sleep well. Sometimes like I don't have 6 to 8 hours sleep because di makatulog. There are some tasks that it needs to be addressed, no, at the moment. But I'm trying my best to really finish the work here inside the campus or school.
Okay, sir. How do you give feedbacks to students?
Practically, I'm giving feedback forms. But before that, their advisors are giving their card, which is the card giving or card releasing. Then, when they have some concerns with whether they pass or fail the subject, they ask the subject teacher for me. That's why I don't show them the grades or the E-class records because that is not allowed. No? So, I just mention the scores, the written work scores, the performance task scores, the quarterly assessment scores. I gave it to them by simply doing it, writing it. I mentioned that one. I discussed to them, why is it like that? Because that is the concrete evidence that you are giving feedback to your students. And sometimes also in the test questionnaires or written activities, I'm writing feedback. For example, if you got 10 over 10, I'm doing some descriptions like excellent job, good job, because those praises will really motivate them to do more or to do better. Especially if the learners fail, syempre you stimulate them that you can do better next time.
Okay, sir. How do your assessments help improve instructions?
Pardon, sir.
How do your assessment help improve instructions?
The learners themselves, they have to learn the self-pacing because I really do believe that there should be 70 to 30% in terms of talking or speaking and discussion. 70% the learners will do it, then the 30% will be the teacher should be the facilitator. So through that proportion in terms of talking and discussion, you are teaching them how to be independent, di ba? Self-pacing. You let them direct their own learning. If you have some PowerPoint presentations there you are presenting, it depends on them if they will write in their notebooks. If they are preferring the visual learning, like they're just viewing it, hayaan mo. Because that's the way they learn. Di ba?
Yes.
Then some of them, they are good in drawing, arts, and some skills, poster making, di ba? Some of them, they just listen. Then some of them are doing unnecessary gestures, no, but you don't mind, they are already listening na pala. So we cannot judge them, no. Then we don't have to judge them according to their physical appearance or personality, because all learners are equal in terms of learning.
Okay, sir. With that, I'll wrap up the interview. Thank you so much, Sir Edgar de Mongada, for your kindness and willingness to share your expertise. I hope you have a wonderful day ahead.
Thank you, Sir Moriel.
Okay.
God bless. Good luck.